Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second Product Intelligence Sync in the new year on the 10th of January. And we have a bunch of topics to get through. So I'm going to start immediately. The first one is from me. It's just a short update. I guess especially Mikolai and Piotr are kind of waiting for getting rid of the manual service ping, but it seems like it's still going to take a bit of time. There's a few metrics that showed a large discrepancy between the automated service ping and the manual service ping, and there's still investigations ongoing around those metrics, why that is. In general, feel free to read into the automated service ping process again. Some discrepancy is to be expected because deletes are not propagated to the database clone that sits in the warehouse. But they did some investigations around discrepancies in June, I think, when the whole process was started, and kind of agreed on a specific level of, okay, this amount of discrepancy is okay. Now the discrepancies are bigger, and so the whole process of doing investigation starts again to make sure that these discrepancies are really only because of the database, the kind of the way the cloning of the database works, instead of kind of due to any new reason, or that there's no bug or something in the new process. And it's still going to take some time, I think, until we can finally switch off the manual process. So for now, Mikolai and Piotr will still need to do this.
Okay, next point is mine. So I just wanted to share a quick update on the ClickHouse working group, because it's seems quite closely related to the different efforts that product intelligence and analytics stage is taking on. So currently ClickHouse working group, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, set up on the exit criteria, which was turned into the epics and issues. Some of them already got some engineers assigned as DRIs, or multiple engineers assigned to collaborate on them. There are 2 issues that our group got involved at this moment, and they cover accessing to the or interactions with ClickHouse abstraction from both read and write path. So one is about the data ingestion pipeline, so kind of similar to the JIT replacement and the Snowplow pipeline, just the way to load the data into the ClickHouse. And the other is how to get the data out of the ClickHouse in a way that the ClickHouse itself can be hidden behind the abstraction as the implementation detail, rather than the direct tool that anyone on GitLab could interact with, because there is a concern that smaller installations may not be willing to install ClickHouse just because it consumes a lot of resources and might not yield the gain for them in terms of performance of the application if they're running on scale, like, I don't know, 100 users. So just this is like a quick update. Both of this issue were just kicked off this week. One on the Monday, and one was kicked off today. And yeah, I think that's all. If anyone has a question, I will be happy to answer.
Maybe just one more general note there, because Mikolai is going to be on vacation also the next 2 weeks. So I might take over some of the communication and still attend the ClickHouse working group meetings also. So if there's anything that you're interested in also regarding ClickHouse and so on, I'm the point of contact for the next 2 weeks. But it's still also open for anyone to get involved in the whole effort, in understanding kind of how we as GitLab in general can use ClickHouse going forward, and make sure that it's used in the same way, or roughly the same way across groups.
Thank you, Basti, for covering and helping me to deal with working group while I'm away. Much appreciated.
No worries.
And thanks for a reminder that I should announce it again that I'll be away for the next 2 weeks.
No worries at all. Right, so if there's no questions around ClickHouse, the next one is just a small, signal boost. So I proposed a new kind of check-in process inside the retro issue. Feel free to check that out and give feedback on it. The idea would be to, try out a new process around kind of sharing what every one of us has been doing or kind of accomplishing also, in a sense. We had some existing processes like the midweek transparency sync, async issue updates, which have not been adopted, I guess, in the way like continuously, I would say. So they don't, it doesn't seem like they provide the value that we hoped from them. At the same time, a lot of people said that they generally would like to have a bit more context around what everyone is doing. And just walking through the board, for example, also doesn't provide this context, or doesn't really provide additional insights. So this is based on my previous experience. I'm very open to any feedback, but I would also really like to try it out. So if there's no kind of real opposition to it, I will kind of update again then towards next week so that we can start doing this for the first time next week and just try it out and see how it goes and see if it provides the value we hope. And if not, then we can also change the process again. It's just about finding the right tool that works for us. And the next one, also from me, this came actually up during a talk with lawyers and also while revisiting our kind of page around how we communicate to customers what data we're collecting. And one type of data that's very contentious is the IP address. So Snowplow is collecting IP addresses. There's no other tool like Service Ping and so on, they don't do that, but Snowplow is doing it. We're already in the process of removing or have already removed the additional computations on top of the IP address around enriching the data with the location of users that you can somewhat infer from the IP address. But now the question is, what else, if anyone is aware of what else we're using IP address for, actually. So if it's a needed data point. This is also something that I'm going to check with the data team and the product analysts. But I was also wondering if anyone that's been here for some time has ideas around this. Because if there's no big value in collecting the IP address, I think it would be very helpful to get rid of this. Because it just makes communication with customers a lot easier. As soon as someone hears that you're collecting the IP address, it's kind of, it just rings alarm bells, especially because we're pseudonymizing a lot of other data points also when it comes to Snowplow, but we're not doing this with IP address, I guess, because then the enrichments also wouldn't work. But at the same time, it's just problematic. So and I guess, Piotr, you're the main one I haven't talked to about this yet. Do you know about anything that's based on IP address that's still there?
Let me ask to clarify. We want to eventually remove or pseudonymize the IP address itself, or just IP derived attributes like geolocation data and so on?
No, the IP address itself would be so that we don't, if we don't need it, ideally we would not collect the IP address at all.
About IP derived attributes, there are like several other location attributes that I suppose are geolocated from the IP address using a database or I think it's a geolocation database. But whether we use the IP address for creating data insights, we should probably ask the data team about that.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. I was just wondering if anyone's could have been that someone's aware of something that we did with it previously. But then I'm going to check with them, and it might be like, hopefully we might be able then to remove it afterwards. Okay. The only, since we still have time, I have one more read-only thing that's just so that nobody forgets. Directly after this meeting, there's the presentation around the service ping analysis engine by Martin, where he's showing us what he does with the service ping data, which I think is going to be interesting to every one of us. You can already add questions to the document, I think would be cool to see everyone there and to get some insights into what's happening also with service ping data outside of what we're doing directly.
We should definitely remind him to record. We can share that recording because I think that's going to be really interesting for not just our group, but also other folks in customer success, and then looking at it from a analytics section and product analytics perspective as well, of what sort of data and insights do people care about that we might consider bringing into the product.
Yeah, good point. I'm going to add a reminder to record also to the agenda. All right. If we don't have anything else, I think this is we can close this as a quick one, and then hopefully see a bunch of you in a few minutes in the presentation.
Thanks, folks.
See you, everyone.
Thanks. Bye-bye.